Well, you know, Dave, when I came here that first time over 20 years ago, I was disappointed in Noss at first. It was misty when I got here, and it seemed to me it was a bit featureless. It was also dead for colour. And it wasn't until I climbed that hill at nearly 600 feet that I suddenly realised what had been missing. What a cliff!
Aye.
Now, it's really the seabirds that I've always been interested in. I knew that Noss was a good place. Now, you're the warden of Shetland, and you've been studying Noss for at least 3.5 years, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
So what about the birds? Are they doing all right?
Well, I think the general answer to that is yes, they're doing fine. But of course, you're quite right. It is famous for its seabirds. Hundreds of thousands of them come here each year and nest on those eastern cliffs. But of course, it's very easy to just assume, well, they're fine, you know, from year to year and not really look at them critically. So what we have been doing for at least the past 20 years is trying to count the birds every year and see just exactly what is happening to them. And of course, they are fluctuating, and some are going down and others are steady.
Apart from oil pollution, what do you think the threat to the birds is?
Well, of course, it's no mistake that we're sitting here in the middle of the ocean, really, and clearly the biggest threat is lack of food for the seabirds.
How do you account for that? Overfishing?
Well, that would be the simple answer, that you've got a lot of fishing boats working off Shetland, not just Shetland boats from all over the place, taking out a lot of fish. And we have noticed, particularly in the last few years, that birds coming in with food for the chicks, they're bringing in very, very small sand eels, for instance, rather than, you know, the normal good mouthful, the good beakful.
Now, everybody's talking about this year of the environment, and we've got to be thinking about room for nature and room for man. It would seem logical that some kind of quota system should be put on the kind of food that the birds eat, inshore food such as sand eels.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a political solution, but at the same time, I think really what we're trying to do is alert people's attention to the fact that we are responsible for the well-being of these seabirds. They have as much of a place here as we do. And I think as long as we can be aware of the problems that face these birds, and at the end of the day that face us, then I think we're going to find a solution.
So in a way, that's why the Nature Conservancy love people to come to this island, so that they can see what there is here.
Absolutely. I mean, you came here 20 years ago on a fairly dreich day. Today you've brought a very fine day. And that's our policy. We open the island up for people, and we hope to bring them in to see the magnificent spectacle of Noss.